All right, so we got one from we're diving into some Patreon questions here with Cole. We got one from Quint Noble.
Oh my!
I'm gonna read the whole thing because obviously Quint, he's got a unique style. Cole, my boy, enlighten young milkman himself and the listeners about the pool party days at Gyptopia. In parentheses, hot, fresh, and roasted nuts tour. And then he goes, how good are you at wake surfing now? And can you still hard 50?
Dude, Quint is probably top 5 favorite people in my life. Like
Can't
that
not
dude,
smile when you're around him, dude.
And honestly, that dude probably supported me as a sponsor more than anyone. Like I probably made the most money wakeboarding from STZ than anything like Byerly or anybody like paying for things like photos. Like he would pay, or videos. Like dude, that dude supported us from the jump. Like that dude's the man. But yeah. Well, I already forgot his question, dude. He just said Quinn. I'm like, that's my dog.
We got like
pool party.
We got 3 things here. So yeah, we'll go one by one. Pool party at Gyptopia.
Pool party at Gyptopia. That trip, wild, which I heard Wes's thing. That's when Wes made out with the black chick, the big black chick at the club.
Yep.
Which Quint was the one that was filming.
Oh, it was Quint.
But he reverse recorded, which is why, like, when you already recording by accident and then you hit record and you think you're recording, but you're not recording. Yeah. It was one of those. Super funny.
I was gonna say I've never seen this footage.
Yeah, it's not around because I remember the next day we're like talking about like, dude, you were going ham with that chick, and he's like, "What? Where's the footage?" Quinn's like, "I was in your face. You remember that?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's see it." And it's not there. It's like a clip of like the floor, and then, dude. But yeah, we were getting hammered in the pool at Gyptopia, just like wilding out, dude. And then next thing I know, we're like standing on top of the van, ripping out of Gyptopia. Gyptopia was like pretty loose, actually. Like Courtney Angus was living there.
I've heard it's from like just about everybody that was there for a minute. It was
like Courtney Angus was there. And I remember like we were like had like a crew of like 3 and 3 in golf carts, like racing around, like hanging off the side. People like she like fell off. I thought she died, like just fell off, and then she just comes out of the woods, jumps back on. I'm like, this is crazy. We're just all hammered. It's crazy.
How good are you at wake surfing now?
Still crap.
Can you 360?
If I get lucky.
How many tries would it take you? Because I think I'm probably hovering around 10.
I'd get it in 10. If I get it in 3, it'd be pretty sweet. It's funny, like surf style and skim style. Like skim style, I'd do it in probably like 1 or 2 because there's no fins. And you kind of just butter around.
Yeah, butter around.
But like the fins on a surf style like catch, so it's like you got to like do it proper.
Have that weird technique where you kind of go on then.
I don't know, dude. I just slap it and do an air and like call it a day.
To me, that's what wake surfing is, dude. Just some slaces.
Just some slaces. I'm just showing you that the wave is there. You can ride. Yes. I'm not a pro wake surfer. Come on.
Can you still hard 50? I would say yeah, for sure.
I will hard 50 for life. That boy invented the hard 50.
I mean, what a great trick too.
It's just a 50-50.
Just a 50, but
it's just when he does it, it's a hard 50.
It is
hard 50s. Dude, like I would go snowboard with Quint, and he would lock into a rail and like come down and like land like over steez and be like hard 50, and then you're just like, dude, you're so funny, man. He is a trip. That is one person I wish I hung out with more nowadays, even though he lives so far away. Like that dude is genuinely one of the best people in the industry, 100%.
I totally agree, dude. Love that guy. He's wondering also what's your favorite boardie that Steez has ever done.
I don't know. Your wiener shows in all of them so much. It's crazy.
Are you rocking underwear underneath, or you just
dude, you don't wear underwear with board shorts? Is that a northern thing?
I do.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah.
With his, you probably should, because it's just like you see wiener.
You do.
But I don't know.
I mean, there's been a lot.
There's been a lot.
I got
a lot of prints.
Yeah.
He used to, I mean, when I was way more involved, he would like send us all like designs. I'd be like, oh, that's sick. That's sick. He's come out with so much stuff. It's so sick that he still does it because he doesn't have to. Like STZ doesn't really make.
He could run Infinity.
Yeah, Infinity is what the bread and butter is. But yeah, he's always helped me. He's like, we did like a surf club shirt when I lived with Parks for a little bit. We did surf club. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yeah.
So sick. That if wake surfing was cool, that's the coolest because that was sick. You're just like. In the water, longboards, just the boat's going in a circle, and like so anyway, like ended up making a surf club shirt with Quint at one point.
Okay, no favorite boardies, but probably favorite shirt.
Favorite shirt.
Okay, love it. We got one from WMJ Wesley Mark Jacobson. He's obviously wondering about citrus as well, but we covered it. Well, I'll read it because he's a little spicy.
Dude, he's always spicy.
What the fuck is good with citrus? Talk is cheap, boy. We want them clips. Yurt.
But I'm like, man. He's a trip, dude. Yeah, it's coming. And it's funny. Yeah, we chatted for a little bit, but it's coming.
Yeah, spring 24.
It's coming.
Let's go, baby. Be out there. He's also wondering why you cut your hair. Did you donate it? He wants it.
I'm balding, bro.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Thinning. I'm not bald, but yeah, definitely when I hit like 29, started to thin out. Just like, it's time.
Yeah.
Like I would see myself in a shot and I'm like, phew. No, time to go.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I even watching Dylan go through his hair thing too. We bond on that. I was like, I think it's time, Dill.
I feel like once you realize it's time, if you just dive into it, you're good.
Yeah, like I did it, and then I was like with Dill, I'm like, Dill, it's time.
Yeah. And
then like a couple weeks later, he's like full chrome dome. Like, that looks nice.
Yeah, honestly, it's a dude, classic look.
He's got a good head for it.
Dylan, great head. We got one from Joshua Boyle, and this is, I mean, kind of a open-ended one, but he's going, do you have any particularly hilarious stories of things you've seen related to wakeboarding?
I mean, for sure. Trying to think of what those are. I don't know.
Those are tough questions because it's like,
yeah, it's like
you need something to lob it up almost. Like,
I need to get it to remind like, for some reason, what comes to mind is my first trip with Alliance. It was Hazed and Confused. We went to Texas, and Rocker Steiner had an RV, or his dad did. And I went with Jimmy. Brett Little, I think, was there, who was also riding for Byerly. Trying to think who else was there. Anyway, we did like a little 3-part series where we like traveled from like Texas all the way to I think it stopped in Valdosta. And that Roger Steiner was such a little turd, dude. Like, for my first trip, and Jimmy LaRich is such an instigator. Like, he loves to like set people up to get fucked with, you know, like, so he would like have this kid like mess with me the whole time. And Rocker's probably like 13, like little kid, dreads, back when he was like super young buck. And he like at one, like the last day, he just kept hitting me in the nuts. I'm like, dude, I'm going to curb stomp you if you don't stop. And I looked at his dad, I was like, dude, you got to get your kid to chill out. Like, he's messing with me. I know Jimmy's telling him to mess with me, but like, he's messing with me.
We've gone too far.
Yeah. Like, and I remember we're at, it was one of those Hyperlight things where all the dealers come. It's like a whole thing. So we ended the trip there actually at OWC, and they're like having a meeting or whatever. And Rocker hits me in the nuts, and I just immediately go boom. And he flies, bro. The kid flies, dreads and all, goes into a planter, and the planter just explodes, and everyone stops. And all the focus is on that. And I'm like, no. And I just threw a kid. Like, that's how it looks. Like, I just beat up a kid, dude. And his dad was so pissed. And I remember his dad coming up and like, dude, look, I told him. I'm like, dude, how many times do I get hit in the nuts before I just lose my mind?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know why that story pops up.
That's hilarious.
I think it's hilarious.
That is hilarious. And then he has another question saying, do you have any thoughts on what amateur wakeboarders can do to help grow the sport of wakeboarding?
To help grow the sport of wakeboarding?
Yep.
Yeah. Dive into your local scene is like the best thing you do. Find a local shop. Get in with them. Support them. Because that's where you're going to sell the product that you're promoting. Right? So like, say you have a shop. They carry Liquid Force and Ronix. You're going to be able to be in a better seat with those brands if you have a place to sell the product, right? So like going in, linking with those, you're going to be able to grow that community. So like focus on your area. Like if you live like, you know, for me, it was like Lake Lanier, Lake Altoona, like go figure out everything that's around there that's wakeboard related, whether it's a marina that has a pro shop, go in, see what they're doing. If they got events, get involved, help them out, you know, like be the voice that grows the area, because like you're an amateur wakeboarder, you're not going to reach the masses. Like that's not where you're at yet. So it's like go in, grassroots, get in there, get amongst it. You know?
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
Community right there. I think you hit it on the head. That's
Yep.
perfect. We got one from Casey and Clark Davis. So I think they're kind of asking them together.
Oh, they're so sweet.
Just another great wake couple, dude. Like,
So
kid's
many.
going to be a badass, too. How's married life? You kind of touched on it earlier, but
Yeah.
pretty dope, sounds like.
It's pretty epic. It definitely like it's definitely different. Like it becomes real. Like when you after you get it done. It's definitely like come back from the honeymoon, you're like, oh, she's a little nicer now. I don't know what's going on, you know. But no, like it's epic because like now you know, like you're like legit family.
Yeah.
Like it's legit. It's on paper.
official.
She
Yeah,
has my last name, like ride or die, 100%. So it's sick. Like, I mean, it's such a mission to like keep that steady, and that's what's sick about it. It's like you're always learning and growing together. So
Love it.
yeah, I love seeing them two together. They're epic.
Always make you smile. They're asking about how did you get such a good switch tail grab. I think we talked about that, though, so that was good. And then they want to know a little bit more about Untamed. So the story behind it, where'd the idea for the project come from, how long did you film, some notable spots, you know, all that.
Untamed, dude. It's funny. I and if no one knows who Nick Belmont is, he's also the person that works at Alliance, but he tells me all the time, he's like, I probably still watch that. Like that's pretty much what got him like super stoked on like filming wakeboarding, which is so surreal that now he like works with me.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
I pretty much helped him get to where he is. It's so sick. But yeah, the Untamed situation was just, we know we wanted to do stuff with Ambush and like the riders. So like that was easy. Blake was kind of like, we all knew like Blake had it, you know, but he just didn't have anything to prove it. So I was like, cool, let's give him a platform. So we started filming, and I remember, you know, I didn't have a gimbal at the time, and I remember trying to talk his dad into like splitting a gimbal with me. I'm like, look, I'm going to help your kid blow up. If you just help me, like $500, let's get this Ronin gimbal, like help me, dude. And it was such a struggle for him to freaking throw me a bone there, but like we got that, and dude, we went hard on that project. Like I was stoked because Blake was pumped, but he also like looked up to me. So he was like, I'm like, dude, we need to do this. He's like, for sure. And like, they would make it happen. So it was like anything that I thought we should be doing, I'm like, okay, cool. Let's set up a line at your park. And a month later, he's got everything built, massive rails, everything's sick. And like, we're filming it, and then this and that, winching and all this stuff. So like, that was like I would say it's like my vision, and like Blake was my little puppet to a point, you know, like he was so young. I mean, he was so young then still. And it's like to help show him like, all right, let's hit this spot. Let's hit this spot. And like to watch what came out of that after was so awesome. For not only like that probably legitimized my job, like me getting the job at Alliance, but also like legitimized him as a rider. People were like, yo, this kid rips. So it was super sick, but it was majority of that was all passion. Like it was a passion like I did clock hours through Ambush, but also there was days I didn't clock hours.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, let's go get a clip real quick. You know, it's like,
So the roof drop, did you find that and say, Blake, yo, I want you to drop in off this roof, bud?
I go, yo, in your spot.
Is that how it
I'm
happened?
pretty sure it was like, I was like, yo, in your spot. He's like, what? I was like, you're going to start on this roof and you're going to drop in, dude. And like, Levi Dills was driving the winch, and I remember getting up on the roof. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I started filming on top of the roof. So I'm on top of the roof with him. It's so hot. Like I had to wear shoes up there, burning your skin. I remember his first setup, like put the sign so he could get, because it was like the roof was like kind of going, and then it kind of had like an abrupt up and then went down. So he like put a sign there. he kind of like slides, goes up, and then goes down. And like the first one like sticks and just like slides down this roof, just scrapes off. I'm like, oh, this was a bad idea. This is a bad idea. But he sticks it out, and like it was a really big drop. Like it I don't think like the video justifies it, because it was like when you're standing up there, you're like, dude, that's like, I don't know. It probably was like 10 feet, maybe 12 feet. I don't know. It seemed really big.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that in forever, but he eventually got through it. And like I was filming on the roof, and he pretty much landed one and kind of like butt dragged out. Like it wasn't a make. I was like, cool, got the first clip, like first part of the clip. Like I'm gonna go over here and show the size. So I remember we get on the shore, and when he rode away from that, I was so stoked, because he just kept like collapsing, just couldn't handle the drop, and that was really sick to like see him just get eaten up and then get the clip. But I don't know why we chose a roof, like.
Because it's sick, dude. I don't know.
I mean, why not?
Why not? There's water. There's
dry start, water.
Big bang boom.
Yeah, big bang boom. So sick.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for submitting Patreon questions. As always, if you want to, submit Patreon questions, join that Patreon in the link in the description. Thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for answering the questions. See you guys next time.